Dreamers, the longer that you invest, the stock market become easier every year because you start to see the same patterns pop up over and over again. Now in this video, I'm going to be bringing you guys one of the patterns that pro investors use that you do not. In this video, I'm going to be talking about stock buybacks. Now, stock buybacks is when companies go out and buy back their shares. And when they buy back their shares, it makes the shares that you own more valuable. And when you have these shares that's more valuable, guess what happens? The value of the shares that you own goes up because of supply and demand. The less that's out there, the more valuable the shares you are, right? Everyone knows about the supply and demand. The less supply that's out there, the higher the demand, the higher the demand, the higher the price. You want to have shares of the stocks that's having company buybacks every single year, or that's recently had a big major buyback. I'm not talking about, oh, they bought back $10,000 worth of shares. They bought back $100 million worth of shares. No, you want to look at companies that's buying back billions. That's right. Billions of dollars worth of their shares back. And guess what? If they're buying back billions of dollars worth of their shares, that says 5 things. A, it makes the shares that you own more valuable. So when Apple have a $25 billion share buyback, that shares that I own of Apple goes up. They become more valuable. When Google have a $15 billion share buyback, guess what happened to my shares of Google? They become more valuable. They go up. When Meta have a $13 billion buyback, guess what happened to my shares, guys? They become more valuable and they go up. Now in this video, I'm going to be bringing you guys 3 companies that just had a large share buyback that should make their shares more valuable. So the first thing of the 5 that makes share buybacks attractive is that it makes your shares more valuable. Now the second reason share buybacks are good is because it increases its earnings per share. The less shares that are out there, it boosts the company's earnings per share. The third thing is that it signals confidence inside of these companies that they're willing to buy back shares of this company at a good price, and they believe that the price of this company is going to go up in the future. So it signals major confidence in the company when they're going out there and buying their own shares, and they see it that they usually buy them when it's at a good price and saying that, hey, if this company is buying billions of dollars worth of their shares at this price, maybe I should too. And other retail investors come in, go in and buy up more shares, usually driving up the stock price. The fourth reason that is good is because it's tax efficient. So compared to dividends, which are taxable income to shareholders, buybacks may increase the stock value without creating any extra tax event until the shares are sold. And the fifth reason is that unlike dividends, which create pressures to be maintained or increased every year, buybacks are optional and it gives management more financial flexibility. Now, those are the good reasons. It could be some extra cons, and that one of the cons is that it can mask weak fundamentals of the company. By them buying back the shares, it changes the earning per share. It could mask weak fundamentals. It could be poorly timed to where these companies are buying back their shares at a very high price. So it is poorly timed. Sometimes, most of the times it's not. You want to make sure that these companies are not buying back their shares based off of debt. So it's not debt funded buybacks. And the last thing is that there's no real value created. Just because they buy back these shares does not mean that the value, it does not mean that the value of your shares is going to become more valuable, but they usually become more valuable over time. It's not actually created. It's just supply and demand, and supply and demand, it has to work out. So, but before we dive into it, guys, consider joining my Patreon right now. Inside the Dream Team, I only have 4 spots remaining. That's why I teach the wheel strategy. That's where we're selling options, not buying options, and we create passive income every single week. And we have Zoom calls every single Sunday. Only 4 spots remaining. I'm trying to keep it very small. Or you can join the Lucid Dreamer role, where I post all my technical analysis every single time I buy and sell the stocks. And you have access to my 7 pro day traders. I don't think you guys heard me. 7 pro day traders that post their option trades every single day. And inside of my Discord, you'll also gain access to my master course, where you'll gain different modules in there teaching you about the stock market, how to get started inside the stock market, the basics of trading. If you guys do want to join the Patreon, that link is going to be down in the description and down inside the pinned comment section. But let's go ahead and dive straight into it. The first one on this list that's having a stock buyback is going to be ticker symbol INTU. They're having a 750 million stock buyback on May 22nd. Now, INTU, there's a financial software company best known for the TurboTax, QuickBooks, and Credit Karma. So here we are, INTU. They had a stock back on the 22nd. That would be right here. So this is where they had their stock buyback, and as you guys can see, the stock market reacted. Right here, they had a $750 million stock buyback, and the next day the stock shot all the way up to $720 per share. So all the way from $665 up to $720 from that stock buyback. That is crazy. So they did announce it during their earnings, so they popped up a whole 8% in just one day over hours. So this is where they bought back $750 million worth of their shares at $665. This is the daily chart. Let's see how they've been performing. So they did, let's see if they bought it at a good time. So INTU has been going up since 2019, had a big peak right here in 2021. We kind of already knew what happened in 2021. It was kind of overvalued, so it had a big pullback. So we could see this as a support, continue to trend up, and they end up buying it at this price right here. So they didn't buy the all-time high, which is pretty doggone good. I would have loved for them to buy their stock buyback somewhere down here, but it seems like they got in at a good price, and hopefully INTU continues to trend up. I like investing in stock companies that has been going up for many years, and as you guys could see, all the way back in 2015, that was at $92 per share, and now they're up to $720 per share. So that's this is a company I would feel comfortable investing into whenever you see something like this continue to go up, has a nice healthy pullback, and continue to trend up and reach their all-time high. Got rejected and now finally broke its all-time high. This is a company that I see that's going to continue to go up. They've been performing really well, so that's why they had the stock buyback. The next company that had a stock buyback is right here. You guys can see that they had a $750 million stock buyback on INTU, and they have a market cap of $200 billion. The next one on this list is going to be ticker symbol AMAT, which had a 1.68 billion. And here's the kicker: they have their market value is only at $126 billion. So this one is worth even more than INTU when it comes to percentage wise. They had a $1.68 billion buyback. AMAT. Now, AMAT, Applied Materials, is a global leader in semiconductors, manufacturing equipment, and display technologies. So if we come back over to the charts, let's pull up AMAT right quick. Take a symbol AMAT and see if they bought theirs at a good price. Now, AMAT bought theirs on April 30th, $1 billion worth of shares back on April 30th. That would be, let's see, February, March, April, right here. So they bought theirs on April 30th at $150. So that they bought $1.6 billion worth back of their shares at $150. And after that, you guys can see that it did start to go up. It broke the 200 EMA, got rejected, starting to pull back. But as you guys can see, that trend right there, that announcement, they had an earnings card right here. The earnings card probably wasn't the best and pulled back the next day, but that's fine. Let's look at the long-term trend of AMAT. Now, this is what I like about it. They end up buying back billions of dollars worth of their shares at $150, and they have an all-time high of around $250. If we look at the percent change of that at 150 all the way up to its all-time high, that is a 68% gain. They have enough confidence in their companies that when they're buying it at the low, this is a stock buyback that I absolutely love right here. They're not buying the all-time high. They're not buying the most recent high. They're buying at a doggone good price, saying that we have enough confidence in our companies that we're buying billions of dollars back of our shares worth at this price, and you probably should too. Now, as you guys can see, they're making lower highs. This is a high, this is a high, this is a high. So once it breaks this trend line and continue to go up, we have plenty of room to get over a 50% gain on AMAT. And if we're looking at it over the long term, let's look at it over the long term. Go back a couple of years, you guys can see that this is very good. If we draw out this trend line for all the way from the bottom right here, let's draw it out right there. That is pretty doggone smooth right there. This would have been a perfect opportunity to buy at 122, but at 150, that is still a good price. This might have been the best entry for this company to buy back their shares over the last couple of years. And we're going all the way back to 2020. And we're going all the way back to 2012, 2013, where this company just continues to go up. And I like how it's looking, especially that they're in semiconductors. This company could continue to take off for many years in the future. This is a good buyback. They timed it right. They got in at a good price. And this might be one that I actually add to my stock portfolio. Let's go to the third one. The third one on this list is going to be, they also had $1 billion buyback. It's Cisco, CSCO. They had their stock buyback on April 30th for $1.5 billion, and they have a market cap of $250 billion. So let's look at, so when we're talking about Cisco, Cisco is a network giant that designs and sells hardware, software, and telecommunication equipment. So when we're coming back to the charts, let's pull up Cisco, CSCO, and there it goes. They bought theirs on April 30th. So let's go to April 30th right here. This is where they bought back $1.5 billion worth of their shares. You guys can already see the increase right here. So they bought back 1.5 billion right here at $57, and they went up 15% just what 15 days, and crazy. And right now they're up 9% in just 23 days. So that's still good. Did they have the perfect entry? Looked like they timed it pretty well. It had a nice healthy pullback. It started to trend back up, and we're gonna go in and buy up these shares. Now they bought it right here before that earnings on April 30th. The earnings was a couple of days later, right here on Wednesday, May 14th. So they did buy it before the earnings. Cisco is a company that I've been wanting to add to my portfolio for a while. They've been doing pretty doggone good over the last couple of years. They timed it pretty good. They did buy near their all-time high, but not at their all-time high. So as long as this company do break this line right here of $66, even though the market has been pulling back, if it continues to pull back, I might get in at the exact same price that Cisco got in at when they did their stock buyback at around $57, $58. That would be my entry on Cisco. But looking at it long term, once again, this company literally only goes up. It has a bit of a resistance right here at the top of this trend line. Let's do from there to, has about a 3 touch point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once it breaks this, I could see it just continue to take off for a long time, but I would love for it to break this resistance zone and would continue to take off. But if it pulls back, I'll probably get in around $57, $58. If you guys want to know when I'm going to get in, consider joining the Patreon, follow all my trades, so follow my pro day trader trades, and you guys would know everything that I'm doing inside of there. But yeah, guys, stock buybacks, stock splits, dividends. I mean, you see the same patterns inside the stock market. The longer you're in, you start to realize and recognize the same patterns that goes on over and over and over and over again. Microsoft doing their big $1 billion buybacks, Apple doing their $1 billion buybacks. Sometimes Apple doing their buybacks at high prices, and it comes back to bite them in their behind. That's why you want to go in and check, are they doing their stock buybacks at a decent price? And when these companies are doing their stock buybacks, it shows that they have confidence inside of their company that is going to recover and take off soon. So that might be a good reason for retail investors like us to go in and buy up the same shares at those prices as well. But let me know which one of these 3 company stock buybacks is your favorite down in the comment section. And right now, guys, I forgot to mention right now, just from signing up and using Moomoo, depositing $100, you could get up to 20 free stocks just from using that platform, which is completely insane. That link is also going to be down in the pinned comment section to Moomoo. To take full advantage of that opportunity. And if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, because that helps out this channel more than you guys can possibly even imagine. And that is completely free. And I got many videos coming in the woodworks down in the future. But yeah, guys, let me know which one of these 3 is your favorite down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and don't forget to join the Patreon. Other than that, I'm Zeke, bringing you the Dream Green Show. I'm out. Peace.